curious about Upwork. Fantastic, and you're going to learn a lot for Upwork. You learn too many things, okay, for free. All right, in today's session. So you're welcome once again. You're welcome once again. All right, all right. I enjoyed the last, and I need to work from home to take care of my kids. Fantastic, I'm Chinyere. That's a very good submission you have there. All right. So while others are bringing in their responses, looking for a remote role, fantastic. While others are bringing in their responses, all right. Let's go on and kickstart the session. So whoever is not here right now is going to miss, because you guys are going to get value from the very first minute. Okay, you start getting value immediately. But just to give people a little bit of time to join us before we, get into it properly. I'd love to know if you are joining us for the very first time. I can see, I think, who's that? I think that's Chinyere. Chinyere is most likely joining us at least for the second time. So if you are joining us for the first time, type first timer. If you are joining us at least for the second time, type regular. If this is your first time seeing Navient Analytics, type first timer. Okay, first timer. All right, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. First timer, fantastic. All right, fantastic one. The host mic is mute. My mic is not mute. Who is that? Chidima. My mic is not mute. I'm pretty sure. All right. So if my mic is mute, people will not respond to me. So you may want to Shakirat, you may want to respond to Chidima so that they check their network. All right. So you guys are welcome once again. All right. I can see we have so many first timers with us here tonight. So for that reason, I will be introducing myself as well as Nebiant Analytics to us, just so we are all on the same page. And of course, we are going to be discussing setting up your Upwork account, and how you can actually use Upwork. More importantly, all right. So for the benefit of those who are joining us for the very first time, my name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I am the Chief Operating Officer here at Nebiant Analytics, and I'm pushing towards a decade of experience in the space, and I've had the opportunity to work with top firms across the globe, including Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of Italy's largest luxury car brand, and I worked with their branch in the US. And guess what? I did that remotely from Nigeria, Lagos to be precise. And in my career so far, I've been graced with the opportunity to help over 3,000 Africans to make that switch from classroom to their very first tech job. Okay, and I also transitioned into tech. Okay, myself and my team members will transition into tech, and you can do it too. And for those of us who are seeing Nebiant Analytics for the very first time, Nebiant Analytics is an edtech firm that is passionate about helping Africans get into the tech space. And why did we even start? What was the push? What was the reason? Now, in my experience working on the global level, one of the things I discovered was that there are so little amount of Black people who are working on the global front in tech. And the reason is very simple. Okay, the reason is very simple. And I had the opportunity of asking so many white folks who are my colleagues, how did you get into tech? What was the turning point for you? And most of them, around 90% of them, had access to premium tech training. And when I looked back at home, I was like, okay, there are so many training programs back in Nigeria, back in Africa. All right. So what do you mean premium tech training program? And that was where the difference struck. A premium tech training program will not only take you through the technical bits of you performing on the job, it will also take you through the soft skills that you actually need to land the job in the first place. You get to work with astute professionals in their rights, and you learn experientially. So you're not going to be dwelling on theory. You're going to be getting your hands dirty, doing the actual job itself while you are learning. And that's just a brief one about Navient Analytics. And today, we're going to be doing something very special. Okay, we're going to be doing something very special. First off, we're going to discuss Upwork and how it works. All right, we're going to discuss Upwork and how it works. And I want to believe you can all see my screen, please, guys. I didn't confirm that. I want to believe you can see my screen. I'm currently sharing my screen. Confirm you can actually see my screen. All right, brilliant. Fantastic. Fantastic one. So you want to we'll discuss Upwork, okay, and how it works. Then we'll move into the extra layered career support. Very interesting. All right. So many training programs would not discuss this with you. Okay, they won't discuss this with you. So we'll discuss it together. And of course, there is a special announcement as well as a question and answer session. So, guys, I want us to maintain decorum and also pay rapt attention as we're about getting to it. Now, guys, if you have any questions that come up, please note your questions down. Towards the end of the session, I'm going to leave the floor open for questions. And by then, I'll take your questions one after the other from the chat box. Okay? So, but for now, I want you to grab a pen and paper so that you can take notes, because there are some things I'll be mentioning. You will not find it elsewhere. You won't see it in any textbook. Okay? So you need to be very attentive. All right. So before I fire on, confirm we are together. Confirm we are together. Confirm we are together. And this is the point where you want to share the link, this meeting link with your loved ones, your colleagues, your friends, who you feel would benefit from a session like this. Share it with them so that they can also get to benefit. All right. So fantastic one. Now let's push further. Do you want a remote tech job in 2025? Now, 2025 is far spent actually, but the question still lies. Do you want a tech job, remote tech job in 2025? Because if your answer is no, then you should not even be in this session in the first place. All right. But if your answer is yes, then you are in the correct session tonight. And this is perhaps the only session you would ever need for you to make your decision into taking a step to getting a remote job in 2025. Brilliant. Brilliant. Now, one of the platforms where you can easily get a remote job is Upwork. Okay, and I'm sure if I ask in the chat now, how many of us have an Upwork account? Quite a number of us may already have Upwork account, but you've never gotten a job on Upwork. Okay, and if you don't have an Upwork account yet, opening an Upwork account is just like opening a Facebook account. Okay, nothing too technical. Your email and some little information is what you need to be able to create an account yourself. Wow, only 2 people out of 76 wants a remote tech job in 2025. That's interesting. Type a yes in the chat if you want a remote tech job in 2025. Let me know who I'm speaking with. All right. If you're not looking for a remote job in 2025, then I don't think you have any business here. Okay, if you're not looking for a remote job in 2025, a remote tech job, not an ordinary remote job. Okay, quite a number of people, want a remote job. Okay, so I know I'm speaking to the right people. All right, I'm speaking to the right people. Brilliant. Now we're gonna get straight into it. All right, let's get straight into it. Let's take a practical look at Upwork itself, and let's even see how it works. The session is recorded. Okay, the session is recorded. Um, and there will be an attendance form that will be shared in the chat box. I'll let you know when it's available. Okay, I'll let you know when it's available. But for now, let's look at Upwork and how it works. Let's take a look at Upwork and how it works. Now, let's take a look at Upwork and how it works. Okay, let's take a look at Upwork and how it works. All right. So I'm just going to open my profile. Okay, I'll open my profile. I want to believe we can see my screen. I want to believe we can all see my screen. Okay. I want to believe we can all see my screen. So opening an Upwork account is easy. All right. So I've already opened an Upwork account. So I'm just going to log in. All right, I'll just go ahead and log in. So just search Upwork, Upwork. Just type Upwork on the internet, Upwork, and then click on Upwork, and then you can click on login. Okay, you can click on login. If you don't have an account, just click on sign up. You can sign up, and exactly, you can click on sign up if you don't have an account. Follow the prompt, and that'll create an account for you. If you already have an account like myself, I'll just go ahead and click on login. All right, and to even make this easier for me, I use my Gmail to log in. So I'm just going to click on continue with Google. Okay, continue with Google. That'll bring up this for me to select an account. I'll just go ahead and select an account, and that's going to log me in. As you can see, it's loading. All right, so now it's loading. All right, so I'll just give it a little bit of time to load. So if you're looking for a remote job in 2025 as a tech professional, and not just any career path, as an African, there are three career paths you should look at: data analytics, data science, or business analysis. And there is a reason why you should be looking at those three especially. All right. The attendance form is malfunctioning. Check your network and try to use another browser. You can copy it and paste in another browser and see if it works. Okay. If you can't see my screen, just rejoin the call, step out, step back in, and see if that fixes the issue for you. All right. For some reason, it's taking ages to load. So I'll just all right, fantastic. So this is loaded now. Okay, brilliant. All right, so all I need to do, this is my profile, but I still need to log in. Okay, still asking me to log in. I don't know why. All right, so I just click on login. Okay, let me click on login. So that should log me in. Okay, that should log me in. Give me a second. All right, so that should log me in anytime now. That should log me in anytime now. All right, so that should log me in anytime. Like I said, if you can't see my screen, please um, rejoin the call so that you can see my screen. Step out, step back in so that you can see my screen. Should you join as a client or freelancer? You can join as a freelancer. Okay, join as a freelancer. So let me just switch my network a little bit here. so that we can move a lot faster. Okay, so let's reload it now that all right, fantastic. So it's loading now. Okay. Can we see my screen now? Can we see my screen now? Okay. Can we see my screen now? Exactly. So I'm logged in. Um, fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So I believe we should be able to see my screen now. All right. Like I said, and I'll repeat one last time before I proceed. And if you can see my screen, please type in the chat box that I can see your screen so that those of them that can't see my screen know that it's from their own end and not mine. Okay, so please type in the chat box, I can see your screen if you can see my screen. So if people can see my screen, then the problem is likely from your own end and not mine. Okay, so brilliant. Now this is my Upwork profile. Okay, this is my Upwork profile. All right, you can see the amount of earnings, the total jobs, and I've had this profile for a very long time now. All right, I've had it for a very long time now. Expert data analyst, expert dashboard developer, Excel, Power BI. Now, the very client I worked with here on Upwork, okay, I was able to build a very strong relationship with them, and we were able to take the whole thing outside Upwork. And guess what? Upwork will tell you not to do that, typically for your own safety. But if at all you're able to build a relationship with any client you work, then good for you. All right. And one thing I also want you to look at is Connect. Now, Connect is like the currency of Upwork. Okay, so whenever you apply to jobs, you you have to part way with some connects. Okay, so currently I have 135 connects, and which means I have the opportunity to apply to quite a lot of jobs compared to somebody just starting out. And you can also buy connects actually, but you if you are very judicious and strategic about how you apply, especially joining a session like this, you will not need to buy connect. Okay, if you're strategic about it. Then one thing you must have on your Upwork profile is this portfolio. If you don't have projects to showcase on your portfolio on Upwork, you are just wasting time. You are wasting time and energy. So how do you get projects and portfolio on here? We'll discuss that in detail later in today's session. Please, for those of you who have been trying the attendance form is available in the chat box now. Do well to click on it and get yourself, you know, get yourself noted. All right. So as I was saying, you need portfolio because on Upwork there are two sides. Okay, somebody was asking the other time, should I register as a client or as a freelancer? Those are the two sides of Upwork. One side comes to spend money on Upwork, while the other side comes to make money on Upwork. And where you want to be is on the side that makes money on Upwork, and that's the freelancer. So as a freelancer, you need to have a niche, a specific career path. I've given you three options: data analytics, data science, business analysis. And I said there is a reason why. Come to that later. And depending on the career path you choose, you must have a portfolio that houses all the projects that you've been able to do so that potential recruiters, clients can see the project that you have worked on so far. So this further projects your skills, as far as the job market is concerned. Now, having established this, okay, one thing you want to do is, one thing we want to do together here is, how do we get jobs on Upwork, right? How many of us want to know how do you get jobs on Upwork? Some of us already know, for those of us who have Upwork accounts already. But even if you have an Upwork account, have you ever gotten a job on Upwork? For some of us, you think it's impossible to even get a job on Upwork. And the reason is not far-fetched. Okay, it's because you are doing it wrong. Okay, it is because you are doing it wrong. You've not gotten a job yet, you're doing it wrong. And guess what? Count yourself to be here today. I'll tell you how to do it right. Now, you look at this search bar, okay, you want to ensure that it's set to jobs. By default, it will be jobs. Okay, and we can search for either data analyst, data scientist, or business analyst. And there are other derivatives of this. You have financial analyst, you have machine learning um, engineer, and so on and so forth, business analysts, project managers, um, and the like. So let's start with data analyst. All right, let's start with data analyst. Now, if I search for a data analyst job, okay, I type in data analyst and hit enter. Upwork would bring jobs for me based on my preference. So if you had set up any preference in the past, Upwork would bring the jobs based on your preference. And you can see here business data analytics. Okay, we're building real estate platform. We're looking for a skilled business data analyst to support us in understanding local user behavior, market trends, property data insights, and performance metrics. So they need you to build a dashboard. That's what they're saying. All right. So these are some of the jobs you can apply to. But guys, on Upwork, you don't just come search for a job and any job you see start applying. If you do that, okay, if you do that, you are wasting time. You are wasting time. Somebody said my screen is too tiny, so I'll just enlarge it a little bit so that you can see it. I hope it's better now. All right. So one thing you want to do on Upwork, okay, is whenever you see search results like this, the first thing you want to check for is the payment verification of the client. Okay, the payment verification of the client. Guys, if a client is not verified, if a client's payment is not verified, please don't apply to that job. No matter how much it is they are offering, do not apply to that job. For example, you can see this particular job is $100 fixed price. Okay, $100 fixed price. I'll come to what that means later on. But first thing you want to check is if the payment is verified. If you scroll down well enough, you might see one that the payment is not verified. For example, see this job posted 5 hours ago, payments not verified, $0 spent. This client has not spent a dime on Upwork. Now, it could be that the person is just joining newly as a client, okay, and really needs somebody to work with them on this job, wants to pay $3 to $5 per hour, and you'll be working 30 hours per week on maximum. So, but you don't want to waste your connect to apply to this kind of job. Are we together, guys? Am I making sense? And the reason is very simple. These guys could be scammers. Okay, they could be scammers trying to, lure you, okay, into applying to this job and taking advantage of you because you really need a job. All right. So, despite the fact that you really, really, really need a job, you need to still shine your eyes. Okay, shine your eyes. Now, since we're looking at the ones that are, payment verified, another thing you want to do is this. Okay, another thing you want to do is this. You want to ensure that the client has spent money on Upwork. For example, this person has spent 8,000 US dollars on Upwork, and that's good. Okay, Um, Another thing you want to look at is the number of people that have applied. So if you look down here, you see proposals, 15 to 20 proposals. So about 15 people have applied to this job. It may not sound like much, but on Upwork, even that job, for example, this one posted 32 minutes ago, please don't waste your time applying to this job anymore. It's gone. Are we together? Am I making sense? Yes, it was posted like 30 minutes before we started this session. Okay, not even 30 minutes, like 10 minutes before we started this session. That was when it was posted. All right. But guess what? This job is gone. Within that space of time, um, about 15 people have applied to job, and that's more than enough for any serious client to pick their choice. So if you are just arriving here at this job, forget about it. It's gone. Okay. The kind of job you want to apply to is something like this second one. This one was posted 50 minutes ago, but if you look, just about 5 to 10 people was about 5 to 10 people was have applied to the job. Now I said if you have any questions, please note it down. Don't put it in the chat box yet. I'll take questions at the end of the session. Okay. For now, you want to concentrate on the value I'm giving to you. All right. This is something that I did not know when I just started out, and it took me 2 years for me to transition. Okay. So you want to ensure that you are paying attention to what I'm saying right now. All right. Um, you have 5 to 10 people who have applied to this job. Okay, so it looks like something you can actually apply to. Although this person has not spent much on Upwork, but let's assume that this person is legit and they have spent more. Okay, look at this one. This one is even better. Competition structure analysis for sports team. This person has a payment verified, has spent 10K US dollars. Um, and only less than 5 people have applied to this job. So you have more chances to get called for an interview, okay, for this particular job. Okay. So you can let me click on this. Okay, let me click on this and apply to the job. Now, when you click on the job, okay, you get to see more about the client. So before you go ahead and apply, read more about the client. This client has 26 reviews and is averaging 4.6 out of 5. This is a client you should by all means try your best to work with. Okay, the person has posted for 47 jobs and has a very high rate of hiring. Okay, and currently they're advertising 3 jobs. Okay, they spent a total of 14K US dollars, hired 53 people, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this person has paid for 544 hours of work. This person is too legit. All right. So what you want to do next is read about the job. We are seeking an experienced analyst to provide a detailed breakdown of the numbers of teams and total athletes for a sample sports competition. The ideal candidate will analyze the team and roster sizes, um, offering clear estimates and noting any variations that may affect these figures. Your insight will help us understand the um, the dynamics of team participation and athletes presentation. All right. So usually it is the job description that used to be here, but this person is sort of like already giving the interview um sort of like the interview task to you. So, and the person attached the data set here. Now, for people like this, okay, for people like this, while they have a very strong hiring rate, okay, I may not want to do this. All right, but I could still risk it and do it and say, you know what, even if the person does not hire me, at least I have some experience working on this data set. So, but we're just going to assume that we would apply to this job. So let's keep on going. All right. So you can see it's a one-time project, and that's one of the sweetest thing about Upwork. You can work multiple projects like this at the same time. All right. If you look here, you can see less than 5 people have submitted proposals. The last time the client looked at this was 30 minutes ago, meaning the client was here checking when we just started this session. Okay, they have not invited anybody for an interview. That's why it's zero, and they've not. They are currently not interviewing anybody, and they've not also invited anybody for interview. A great job to apply to. So let us click on apply. Click on apply. Okay. So once I click on apply, it takes me to this page where I can actually apply to that particular job. All right. So now applying to job in other words is submitting a proposal. So you submit a proposal to your clients, your potential clients. Now, one of the things you want to note is that your CV is useless here on Upwork. You don't need your CV. In fact, Upwork will tell you we don't need your CV. All right. And that's why it's important for you to have a very strong project portfolio. But let's go ahead. You said this proposal requires 9 connects. Can we all remember when I was talking about connect? That connect is like a currency here on Upwork, specifically for applying to jobs. So for you to apply to jobs, you require some amount of connect. Can you remember me saying that? Can you remember? So I mentioned that at the beginning of the session, all right? Yes, brilliant. So, and you can see the detail of the job and all of that good stuff. So, um, what do what are the terms? Now, for you to apply to the job, you need to set some terms. Okay. Now, it is a fixed project. This particular project is a fixed project, a one-time project. The person wants to pay how much? I think $100, if I'm correct. Um, okay, no, not $100. $25 is what they want to pay for this particular job. You always want to select. How do you want to get paid? Select by milestone every now and then. Don't select by project. And I mean, what works for Peter may not work for Paul, but I personally love to be paid in milestone. So when I do a part, you pay me. And then I do another part, then you pay me. So for projects like this, that the money is not that much, okay, $25. And guess what? You can also bid higher than what they've charged, reasonably higher. Okay, you can bid something reasonably higher than what they are charging. It all depends on the value they perceive from you, and what you also want. Okay, but guess what? $25 is a great start, especially for people just starting out. You rack up their experience and all of that. Again, if you have questions, please hold on at the end of the session. Just note your question down in a jotter. I'll take questions at the end of the session. Now, after selecting by milestone, you need to state what milestone you want to include. So the first milestone, I'll type data exploration. Okay, data exploration. So I want to explore the data. And if you give me this job, okay, when will I submit? We are currently on 21st, so I want to give myself some time. So I'll say if you give me this job, the earlier you give me the job, I'll deliver on Thursday. Okay, I'll deliver on Thursday, and I want you to pay me $15 for that particular milestone. And when um, I'll add another milestone, okay, and say data entry and analysis. And this is because I have read the job description, and so I know exactly what to put here. So the job description will determine what you put in here. So due dates, this one is on Thursday. I can make this one on the last day of April, April 30th. So that gives me time. And guys, you want to ensure that you give yourself time. Else you get a bad review. Okay, so I'll put another $15 in here. All right, now you see that in total it is $30, $5 higher than what they are charging. Okay, and that's reasonable. That's a reasonable bargain. Okay, so that's a reasonable bargain especially if you feel that you have a lot of value. But don't go and say $250 when a client is charging $25 or offering $25 rather. You're now charging $250. You, no matter how good you are, the discrepancy is just too much for any serious clients to look at you. So let's continue. All right. So how long will this project take? I'll just select less than a month. Okay, less than a month. And one very important place, cover letter. Now, guys, your cover letter is not your CV. Your cover letter is not your CV. Okay. In fact, um, in the attachments, okay, you can see attachment here. In some cases, Upwork could tell you not to upload your CV, and you actually do not need your CV on Upwork. All you need to do is to write a compelling cover letter, and that would give you the strongest opportunity to get an interview. How do you write a cover letter? Very simple. Now, how many of us know ChatGPT? How many of you know ChatGPT? How many of us use ChatGPT? If you don't know ChatGPT, have you seen Meta AI on WhatsApp, Instagram? You should be familiar with Meta AI. So exactly, fantastic. Now, um, you want to write a prompt that will give you a very compelling cover letter in ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is very similar to Meta AI. For those who don't know ChatGPT, okay. So if you're familiar with Meta AI, ChatGPT works just like Meta AI. So we'll leverage. You don't need to rack your head to come up with a cover letter. So what you do is this: you'd come to the job description, scroll back up to the job description, okay, and just copy um and just copy this. Just copy this. Okay, copy everything here in the job description. And then you want to open a new tab, go to Chat GPT. So I just type Chat GPT. Okay, Chat GPT. And I would open up my Chat GPT profile. Okay, so working with Chat GPT is also as easy as um, opening a Facebook account. Just type ChatGPT and open an account. ChatGPT is fine. If you know how to use Meta AI, you can just open Meta AI instead. Okay, because they run on very similar engines. So this is very fine. Just let's wait for this. All right, so I am now signed in. I am now signed in, and this is Chat GPT. All right, let me increase the screen a bit. This is ChatGPT. Now, what do I do here? All right, like I said, please, if you have any questions, I'm repeating it for I think like the third time. If you have any questions, please, let's keep it till I am done with my presentation. All right. So now, what can I help with? You want to tell ChatGPT that hello, okay, hello, I need you to write me a compelling, I need you to write me a compelling cover letter for an Upwork proposal. I intend to submit. Um, Please, guys, if you can see my screen, type once again. I can see your screen. Some people, it seems some people cannot see my screen. I'm really not sure why. Okay, so but you may want to check your network if you can't see my screen, because all of those people that you can see their thumbs up can actually see my screen. So thank you very much, as you guys confirmed. All right, so I need you to write me a compelling cover letter for an Upwork proposal. Okay, I intend to submit. I will give you, I will give you, I will give you the job description. I will give you the job description and you do the rest. Okay. And then you go to the next line and you tell ChatGPT, um, now ask me for the job description. Now ask me for the job description. Now you see this last line where I'm telling ChatGPT what to do next. It is a line that helps you prevent something we call AI hallucination. AI hallucination. You can read on it later on. AI hallucination. Okay, especially with generative AI like ChatGPT or Meta AI. Now there are some cases where you tell it to do something and you're actually required to give it some more information. Like in this case, in the we need to give it the job description, right? Um, if you haven't provided the job description, it is still possible for ChatGPT to start giving you a cover letter, even without giving it the job description. You don't want that to happen because you want it to take some information from the job description you intend to, give it. So I'm just going to go back to here and copy the job description, and then come back to paste it here. Okay, I'll hit enter first, and it's going to tell me blah blah blah. Please, can you send me the job description, this and that, and then I'll paste it here. Okay, I'll paste the job description here and click on send. Okay, I'm gonna click send. Now, once I send it, ChatGPT, I'll just sit back and ChatGPT is gonna draft a compelling, cover letter for me. Okay, but I think it's asking me for some more information. It's saying, "Great, thanks for the job description. Before I write the cover letter, could you answer just a few questions to help me tailor it perfectly to you?" Can you see what it's doing? It's telling me that I need to provide some more information to allow it to give me, something tailored. It said, "Have you done similar work before?" Number one, yes. Okay. Number two, do you have any relevant skill or tools you'd like me to highlight? Yes. Okay. Excel, Power BI, Looker Studio, SQL, okay, and Tableau. Okay. Number three said, "Do you already have an Upwork profile? If so, would you like to tune to reflect some experience on the platform, or should I write it as if you're new and enthusiastic?" I already have an Upwork profile. Okay. And number four says, "Do you have a preferred timeline or price estimation you want me to include?" I have already given that info, so no need. And ChatGPT is smart enough to know that this number one, yes, is for its first question and all of that, and the likes. And I send it, and I just crack my finger, sit back, and ChatGPT is going to draft the cover letter for me. Okay, so it's going to draft out the cover letter for me, tailored to the specific things um, that I do. You can see I'm excited to apply for a project analyzing team, with a strong background in sports analysis, this and that. In the past project, I've successfully broken down this. It tailors it. My technical toolkit include Excel, Power BI, Looker Studio, SQL, Tableau, giving me flexibility and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm just going to just copy this. All right, I'll just copy this. Okay, go back to Upwork. Okay, go back to Upwork and paste it here. All right, I'm going to paste it here. Now, I'm not just going to send it. I want to ensure I read through it one more time. And here where it says your name, I type Muhammad Suleiman. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Brilliant. Now it says for each of the sample competitions below, provide the number of teams and estimate total. Da, da, da. Note your answer is an estimate. Super Bowl world class. So yeah, you can make a research for this one. All right. But because of time, I'm not gonna go into this. So typically, for an Upwork job that you want to apply to, they'll typically just need a cover letter. Okay, but some recruiters need additional information. Okay, value is required and can't be empty. So I need to actually put something here. Okay, so what I would do is um, I'm just going to copy this just for the sake of time. Typically, I would research this, but because of time, okay, I'm just going to paste this and see, and send it, and just allow ChatGPT to give me something. Okay, just for ChatGPT to give me something to paste there. Ordinarily, I would, research this myself as well. Are we together? I am doing this because of time. Okay, I am only doing this because of time. All right, so I hope we understand what that means. So I'm just going to copy this because of time, use it to populate this second box. So now that we have a strong, sorry about that, seems I did not copy it correctly. Okay. All right, fantastic. So now I have it. All right, so now that I have all of this, okay, now that I have all of this, I can attach an attachment if I want to. Maybe I worked on a data set, but please do not attach your CV. On no occasion should you attach a CV. Nobody is going to give you a job because of your CV on Upwork. So what I want to do next now is I scroll all the way down, and you can see that I need 9 connects to apply, and I can boost with additional connects just so that my name comes to the top. But since nobody has applied, I can just apply with 9 connects. Okay, I can just apply with 9 connects. All right, I can just apply with 9 connects. Okay, so I can add a little bit of maybe 5 to boost it so that 9 plus 5 becomes 14, and then I click on set bid. Okay, okay, that's 5. um I need I need more than that. So this is 5. So what I should have clicked on is send for 14 connects. I'll click on send for 14 connects. So it's going to tell me stay safe, build a reputation, I understand. Okay, I click on submit, and total of 14 connects. Say 3 things you need to understand. So this is just routine Upwork, um, um, telling you how they are trying to protect you. Okay, especially with for a fixed price project. This is a one-time project, and there's a budget for it. Yes, I understand. Click on continue, um, and it is sending the 14 connects. Okay, and my proposal is done. You can see your proposal was submitted. So I have submitted for this proposal. This is my cover letter, and that is my answer. I have submitted this proposal. Now, the client, okay, and I can edit my proposal if I want. Okay, I can edit my proposal if I want. Okay, if I click on edit, it's just going to bring me back here. If there's anything I intend to change, I can actually go ahead and change it. Okay, I can actually go ahead and change it. But yeah, I have applied to this job. Okay, I have applied to this job. So now what we do is we wait. Okay, and I check my messages constantly. Ensure to check your messages constantly so that by the time you receive a DM, okay, you receive a DM on Upwork, you are able to respond in due time, so that you don't miss out on the opportunities. So the manner in which you respond also determines the would also affect the choice of the recruiter. Okay, so you can see so many DMs that I've had with recruiters and potential recruiters. So yeah, that's how it is done. Okay, so I want to believe you were able to pick up some 1 or 2 things from the session, especially this practical aspect on Upwork. Stay safe on working, following the rules. I understand. Um, I just confirm. So now, that is how to apply to jobs. Okay, and you've seen the way to apply to jobs. So I could search for, let's say, financial analyst, for example, financial analyst. Okay, financial analyst. Um, okay, I don't think I typed that correctly. Financial analyst. Okay, financial analyst. All right, financial analysts. Financial analysts. I just click on financial analyst. Okay, financial analysts. Let's see if it brings up any job opening. So, like I said, all right, the financial model development for AI startup, 20 to 20 to 50 proposals, too many people. This person, I don't think anybody has applied to this job. It was posted 4 minutes ago. Guys, this is the kind of job you want to apply to, especially if it suits your skills. Okay, this one was posted 4 minutes ago. So these are the kind of jobs you actually want to look into, apply to. You can also set your filter here. Okay, you can set filters here. I love to filter to show me 5 to 10, 5 to 10 proposals at most. Payment verified, payment verified. Okay, payment verified. So it helps you filter. Okay, client history 1 to 9 hires, somebody who has hired somebody in the past. Um, I won't filter for location. Project length, I can see 1 to 3 months at most. Okay, 1 to 3 months, and let's stop there. Okay, let's stop there. So you can see it, you only be left with jobs that were recently posted 20 hours ago, 19 hours ago, 3 days ago, and the likes. So this is just a snippet of how you can filter to job search, and you can see all of the filter that you have implemented on top here. So that's how to work on Upwork. Now, regarding how do you get paid and all of that, there are several platforms you can actually use, like Payoneer, because nobody's going to pay you on Upwork into your direct bank account. So Payoneer is a platform that helps you receive cash from Upwork, and then from there you can convert to your local currency, naira, or as the case may be. So, and this is Payoneer. Okay, you can set it up. Typically, you get your money in here on Payoneer. All right. So, after having said that, and guys, to set all of these things up is super easy. And of course, if you ever need an extra eye to look at it for you, you can reach out to us here at Navient Analytics. So, and that is that about Upwork. But while I was in that particular practical session, a lot of people were asking, how do I get experience if I don't have one? Okay, how do you get experience? How do you build a portfolio? Because you're not going to put other people's projects. You won't be putting other people's projects in your own profile, right? It's a very grievous offense. So, what do you do now? For me, um, when I broke into tech, as at the time I broke into tech, I had spent like 2 years trying, and the last 2 months were the game changer for me. Okay, the last 2 months before I broke into tech, were the game changer for me, and that was when I met my mentor. And my mentor asked me, "Oh, what am I trying to do now?" I said, "Oh, I'm learning Python, I'm learning this, I'm learning that." And he asked me a succinct question: "Why are you learning Python? For what?" And I was dumbfounded. I mean, Python is the reigning coding, tool. So I want to learn it. Learn it for what, please? And that was a wake up call for me. And I said, you know what, Mohammed, if you are looking to get into tech as an African, as a Nigerian, and you want to be positioned for global opportunities, you want to look at one of these three career paths: data analytics, data science, and business analysis, just like I mentioned at the beginning of my session. Now, the next question is why? Why those three career paths? And the reasons aren't far-fetched. First off, they are easy to learn, meaning anybody from any background can actually jump on this and learn it. Okay, it's easy to transition because there are numerous opportunities out there. On Upwork alone, for example, that we were on, can you see while we were on the session, some jobs were just posted. So that's how frequently you have job openings, and you get more than enough for you to apply to. So, and this is just Upwork alone. On LinkedIn, on a daily basis, across board, you have nothing less than 2,500 um, job openings per career path on average. 2,500. You possibly cannot apply to 2,500 jobs in a day. Okay, so for that reason, it is easy to transition. High in demand, so many opportunities, and guess what? It has fantastic salaries. So, except you don't like money, this is the career path to actually get into. I know for most of us, uh, you want to earn more, and that's why you are here. Okay, that's why you are here today. All right. So let's make progress. Okay, let's make progress as we go now. How do you get into tech itself? How? What's the practical way of getting into tech? Okay, very simple. First off, you want to make a decision as to which career path do you want to get into. Is it data analytics? Is it data science? Is it business analysis? What are they? What are their similarities? What are their differences? And so on and so forth. And luckily for you, I've also included the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report for 2025. It's a text, it's a book that compiles, the submission of thought leaders, world politicians, billionaires across global economies. They come together to discuss what the future of jobs would look like every 2 to 3 years. So, and the projections from 2025 shows that by 2030, the demand for data scientists, business analysts that we have today is going to increase by an additional 30 to 35%. Guys, let me put that into perspective so that I drive my point home. The demand for these three roles right now is on the high. And the projections heading into the future is that that high demand is still going to increase by another 30 to 35% within the next 5 years. So it's important that you take this into consideration when picking the career path. So and we've made it easy for you. Either of these three career paths meet those criteria. I hope we are enjoying the session as we move on. Okay, I hope we are enjoying the session. So this is still a snippet from the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report. I won't be dwelling too much on that. You can click on this link to view the report by yourself when you get my slides. And if at this point you've not filled the attendance form, you want to ensure to fill it out so that you can get my recording, get my slides, and any other materials that will be used or concerned with today's session. Okay, fantastic. I'm glad you're enjoying the session. Now, do you want to know the differences between a data analyst, data scientist, business analyst, so that within your heart you can know which one to go for? Okay, you can know which one to go for. Fantastic. Now let's start with the data analyst. Okay, let's start with the data analyst. Now, who is the data analyst? Okay, who is the data analyst? Now, a data analyst, I call them storytellers. Storytellers. Okay, storytellers. And for you to even understand the data the data analyst, you must know the four types of analytics. Okay, you must know the four types of analytics: descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Now, the job of the data analyst hovers around the first two types of analytics. The job of the data analyst is concerned with just the first two types of analytics: descriptive and diagnostic analytics. Now, the question is, what is descriptive analytics and what is diagnostic analytics? Now, descriptive analytics is the storytelling, okay? You summarizing data and converting it into a story and telling it to the organization, of course, to help them make decisions, okay? Diagnostic analytics is taking it a step further to asking, okay, these things that have happened now from your descriptive analytics, why did they happen? Where did things go wrong? And that is, the job of the data analyst as well. And for you to become a successful data analyst, you must be conversant with these tools in front of me: Excel, Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau, Local Studio, and ChatGPT. Very important. ChatGPT is a tool, not your replacement. Okay, ChatGPT is a tool just like Excel, and you learn how to use it as well. Now, and you can see the kind of opportunities you'll be open to as a data analyst. Let's go ahead so that I bring my point home. Now, as a data scientist, on the other hand, you need to focus on the other two types of analytics: the predictive and prescriptive analytics. Now, a data scientist, and this is why they are different when you compare them to the data analyst, right? So a data scientist is more concerned with what is likely going to happen, trying to predict, and all of that. But a data analyst is, concerned with what has already happened and just narrating it, in 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 a manner that helps the organization make decisions. So as a data scientist, you are looking towards predictive and prescriptive analytics. Okay, now, as a data scientist, you need to be conversant with Excel, SQL, Python, GitHub, Tableau, and ChatGPT. Okay, normally when you look at other training programs, for their data science program, you find just Python. Okay, but we have, done our own research, and for you to land the job as a data scientist, okay, for you to land the job as a data scientist, you need to have all of these things in the bag. Now, as for the business analyst, I hope we're together, guys. I would, like I said, Pedro, I would give room for you to ask questions once I'm done my presentation. We're just 1 hour into the whole thing. All right, so I'll give room for questions, please. All right, thank you for your patience. Okay, now, as a business analyst, okay, your job is more of like a middleman. Let me grab my pen real quick. Okay, this is the business analyst, and don't mind me, business analysts are usually, better looking than this in real life. So as a business analyst, okay, this is how your life is. All right, you have you find yourself in between two entities almost all the time. On this side, you have the CEO, the owners of a company, and here you have the developers. Now, as the business analyst who you are, okay, your job is to ensure that whatever project needs to be done, for example, create create an app for my hospital. Okay, I want my hospital to have an app. Okay, that's what the CEO wants. Create an app for my hospital. Now, everything around this create an app for my hospital. Okay, from asking the CEO, okay, what features do you want it to have really? I want people to be able to make payments. I want people to be able to chat me up. I want this, I want that. Now, all of these are documented by the business analyst. Okay, and as the business analyst, you have to ensure that these developers are serious um, with delivering to the expectation of the CEO. Okay, so it sounds like a little bit of project management, but it is a lot more than project management. And why do I say so? um, Recruiters these days are looking for business analysts that are not just good with managing projects, but also good at handling data to a reasonable extent. Maybe not as in depth as a data analyst, but yeah, to a reasonable extent as well. So, as a business analyst, you need to learn Excel, SQL, and Power BI. Now, those three tools I just mentioned, these ones that I just mentioned, were included as a result of, you know, the requirement for business analysts globally these days. So you also have Miro, core business analyst process mapping tool. You have Draw.io, you have ChatGPT for analytics. You have Azure DevOps, allows you to collaborate with your team members, and you have Jira, as well. So this is what you need to learn as a business analyst, alongside some frameworks like software development lifecycle, gap analysis. For example, Miro for you use Miro for you use Miro for gap analysis. You have process mapping. You can also use Miro for that, or Draw.io. You have the you have the agile methodology, documenting, a product requirement documents. So these are things that you'll be doing as a business analyst. Okay. Now, which of these career paths would you go into? Type it in the chat. Do you want to become a data analyst or a data scientist or a business analyst? Type it in the chat box. Which would you go for? All right, fantastic. Data analyst, business analyst. Fantastic, 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 fantastic. Data analyst. Okay, it looks like majority of the people want to become data analyst. All right, brilliant. So what I've done is this. Now, the whole journey, okay, a training program will be for 3 months. All right, for 3 months, you're going to be gathering all of the experiences. And for 1 month, you partake in our internship. All right, so now how does the class go? Your classes are on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for 3 hours, instructor led. On Saturdays is where you get to build the projects that will end up in your portfolio. On Sundays, you actually do not need to attend the classes. You'd have a pre-recorded, self-paced video that are made available to you on Sundays and through the week, so that you can you get yourself prepared ahead of the next class on Saturdays. Because Saturdays are tailored to practicals only. You work on real world projects on Saturdays. So nobody's going to go into class teaching you theory on Saturdays. All right. So the DID videos will contain all of the theory you need to understand, as well as the introductory practical ahead of your Saturday classes. Now, during the week, we have 2 sessions on Tuesday evenings and Thursday evenings. So on Tuesday evenings, we call it the support session. Okay, the support session. Now, the support session is designed in such a way that if you have any issues in any area as regards your training, you'd enter into this session 9 to 10 p.m. and you lay out your complaints, and your facilitator, the same facilitator that takes you on Saturday, will be there to help you out between this time. If there are also presentations, that's the time you would use for the presentation. You also have Thursday evenings. That's where you have your mentorship sessions, 9 to 10 p.m. Okay, 9 to 10 p.m. And I'll speak a little bit more about the mentorship session in a little bit. Now, I've included the full brochure here. So when you get my slides, you click on it and you get to see it. Now, the kind of projects you work on are some of the things you are seeing on my screen. Okay, of course, depending on on your training, your career path. Okay, so you want to make a project as visible as possible to attract the right set of recruiters. So these are some of our students, as well as their portfolios. So quite a number of them have gotten jobs so far. You know, so it goes to show the quality that we put in here. So just to show you one of the student portfolio, I'll just click on Adachi, for example. So it's going to load this page. You can already see Adachi Akinpade, that's her name. So it's important that your you name your profile. Okay, so you can see Adachi. This is Adachi, one of our students. You can see a little bit about her. Then here you can view her portfolio of projects. So, and this person started from scratch, just like you. So if this person can do it, then you should be able to do it as well. And she got all the support she needed from Nabian's analytics and was able to go on to clinching that job. So I want you to take a look at the remaining of them when you get the slide. Now, we talked about some of the employability skills. Okay. Now, one of the other things that sets us apart here at Nabian's analytics is the fact that we have an extra layered employability support. So what do these things cover? It covers weekly guidance and mentorship. That's the session I spoke about on Thursdays. You have CV assessments and job matching. Okay, you have LinkedIn profile revamp to boost your personal brand. You have the Upwork profile. So beyond what you've learned today, we'll still teach you a little bit more. Okay, during your training program. We also have a lifetime access to our interview preparation. So typically, whenever you have an interview coming up, you inform us and then we'll prepare you ahead of that interview. Now, as a Nabiant Analytics um, either current or past member, in as much as you've passed through the program, you can call us anytime you have an interview coming up, and we'll be there to help you out even after your program has ended. So that's what the lifetime means. So even after your program has ended, you still get value from us, okay, and so on and so forth. You also have a lifetime access to the Nabian team. What does this mean? All your training materials, and let me quickly just show you what it looks like when you enroll. Now, when you enroll for the program, you'll be put on a platform called Google Classroom. Google Classroom would hold every single thing about your class, the class material, the login details, and the class recording. So in case you either miss a class for some reason, or one or two reasons, all right, you miss a class, you can always come back here. Okay, I'll just click on this. This is the April cohort, the latest cohort, the cohort that just started now, and they've made progress already. So you can see important materials. You can see Excel Live Class 2. They had their second Excel Live class April 19th or thereabout. That's on Saturday. All right. So, and this is the login detail to join the class that they used to join the class. This is the material they used in class. Okay, and this is the class recording. Okay, this is the recording of the class. So if you click on it, it's just going to go ahead and replay the class, and it's going to feel as if you are right there and then. Okay, so this will give you the opportunity to, um, uh, this will give you the opportunity to always come back here whenever you need to. So it could be maybe you got a job, or you simply just want to go over one or two things, and you can come here and you always have access to it without ever having to ask. Okay, so You have a 1 month internship, like mentioned. You also have, reference and recommendation letters that we can issue for on your behalf. Now, talking about testimonials, okay, so many people have gotten jobs, and most recently was about last week. Helen got a job working as a data analyst with a firm based abroad, as you can see, junior marketing analyst. And then they asked her for letterhead, preferably from the previous employer. And that was how she reached out to us. So once you join us here at Navians Analytics, we give you the opportunity. If you look at our LinkedIn profile, we, it says you both work at Navians. So you would start gaining experience immediately because you can add Navians to your most recent experience. Okay, so once you do that, it gives you the benefits from our brand equity and all of that good stuff. So these are the strategies we use for getting people jobs. So this is Deborah Lawale, this is Udo Akubasi, also got a job. You can listen to two of them speak. This is Oluwaseun Ojo, and these are real people. This is Amaka Nyago, and so on and so forth. Okay, and so on and so forth. So that is that about testimonials. We've also had the opportunity to feature on top tech boards like Tech About, Business Day. Just reiterating the fact that we continue to help Africans to make that switch into the tech space. So now we have a class starting 10th of May. Okay, and you can be in that class. Remember, this session was meant for people who are looking for remote jobs. Okay, so again, I want to filter and speak to the right people. All right, so if you're ready to start your journey come 10th of May, okay, come 10th of May, but I want to see your excitement first in the chat. If you're ready, I want to see your excitement in the chat. Let me know. Fantastic. So you can literally start your journey 10th of May. All right, fantastic. Now, for you to get access to our training program, okay, depending on your choice, either data analytics, data science, or business analysis. So you choose one, okay, and the amount you'd ever require to be paid, okay, to gain access to all our offerings, including our lifetime offers. Okay, it's the sum of 250,000 naira only. Now, for those of us who decide to register today and now, okay, to secure their spots, okay, they are going to benefit, and that's the early bird, offer. You get to benefit from the 3 installments. Ordinarily, we don't give these 3 installments out, okay, but just to um, give that flexibility, especially for those people who have made the decision to start right away, to get on board. Okay, so with 50,000 naira, you can secure a spot today. With just 50,000 naira, a spot will be guaranteed for you. And then before the class starts May 9th, so the class starts May 10th, you need to be sent some documents, and so on and so forth, um, before the class starts. So you top up with the second installment, 100,000 naira, and then finally you put another 100,000 naira May ending for you to complete the entire payment. The account number in front of you is what you are required to send a direct transfer to. And once you've done that, just contact me via WhatsApp 0703 215 8619, and I will take the honor to personally walk you through the next step of enrollment. Okay, but it has to be tonight. If you are not part of the first 10 people, you will have to pay a one-time payment of 250,000 naira. So you may want to be part of the 10 people tonight to secure their spot. So with just 50,000 naira, you can secure a spot for yourself ahead of starting your journey. Okay, so many people miss out on investing in themselves. They are looking for Ponzi schemes like CBEX to double their money. Okay, we all know what how CBEX turned out. Or how many of you heard about CBEX? Okay, people came up, people who could not show their real faces to you, came up and said, okay, you know what, bring your money, I'll double it for you. What you would likely even get with investing this amount of money, okay, in yourself is more than whatever CBEX promises you. Else, look at where it ended. Okay, ended in tears. Um, Made away with over 1.33 trillion naira. Okay, as hard as the economy is, some people are still duping people of about 1.3 trillion naira. So you need to get out of such a space and start to invest in yourself. Okay, and tonight you can secure yourself a spot. Do that. Send me a WhatsApp message 0703 215 8619. You can take a screenshot of this page. Okay, so that you can always go back to it after the call has ended. Or if you're already doing that now, the details are in the chat box, including my phone number. Okay, 009899047. Right? 047. Okay, so send me a WhatsApp DM. Please, no phone calls. No phone calls. Send me a WhatsApp DM. I will personally, respond to you on my phone after the session has ended. Okay, so how many persons have secured their spot? So I've got a couple of I got a couple of I get a couple of DMs already. So if you are one of the people who have sent me a DM, I will be responding to you after the session has ended. Now, if you have any questions, please do well to put it in the chat box. I'll take questions for the next 8 to 10 minutes before we shut this down. Okay. I'll take questions. Uh, I'll take questions before we shut these down. So type a question in the chat box. I'd love to take your questions. Questions. Let me track back and see if, please, where is the attendance? The attendance is in the chat box, okay? Who has a question to ask? We're all asking questions. Or have I done a great job answering your questions? Who has a question to ask? Okay, so I've received 2 DMs, so just 8 spots to um. Okay, good evening, sir. Please, what's the process of buying a connect? Just click on the buy connect button. It's very straightforward. Okay, if you click on the buy connect button, it's very straightforward. Um, you would have to enter in your card details and all of that. All of these things will take you through them, during your training program. Okay, so Pedro, you may want to secure a spot. All of these things would be you'll be put through during the program. But it's as easy as clicking on buy connect. The platform is highly intuitive, it's very easy to use. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Pedro. And Pedro, you want to confirm, are you one of the people who have sent me a DM already with the proof of payment, or you aren't? Because I've not looked at my phone yet, but I've seen that I have a couple of DMs, from people on this session. Okay, so if you're one of them, that would be fantastic. So let's see, we have more questions. Do we have more questions? Who else wants to ask me a question? By the time we are at 9:30 p.m. West African time, I'll be shutting down this meeting. And if you've not registered by then, I don't know what other opportunity you're waiting for. Okay, this is an opportunity you want to take advantage of. All right, take advantage of this opportunity and change your financial status, regardless of what Nigerian economy is talking about. All right. So who else has a question? Okay, another DM has just entered. Um, all right. So how does a health professional revamp their Upwork profile to land jobs in tech? Very easy. Okay, and I did a video today talking about this. As a health professional, okay, what you want to do is you're not going to throw away your previous experience. You're just going to slot it in nicely. So there are ways that you can do that. Okay, so but your Upwork profile has to be tailored to the skill you are selling. So while you are a health professional on Upwork, okay, you can do the two. Now, Upwork has an ability. I did show you put that one because of the time, the limited time we have for the session, right? Upwork has something called persona. Okay, persona. And if you know what persona means, you already know the drift. You've gotten the drift already. Now you can assume two different personas with a single account. Upwork allows you to do that. So let's say, for example, you are a health professional, you're a doctor, all right? And you are also a data scientist or a data analyst. How do you do the two on Upwork? All you need to do is to create your account, and under the account, you have two different personas. So you can use one persona to apply for some specific kind of jobs. For example, you have a data analyst persona, you use that one to apply to data analyst jobs. And then you use the doctor persona to apply to jobs that require maybe a doctor or a health professional. So you can absolutely do that on Upwork. I hope I answered the question, Chioma or Basi, and I hope you are one of those people who have already received a DM from. Congratulations if you are. Okay, I haven't yet, but soon we'll do that. But I'm very major in IT and system administrations and virtualization. Fantastic. And Pedro, fantastic. You have some form of tech background. While that is not a criterion for you to, take one of these career paths on my screen, um, you can actually, it's a very good thing you're already in tech and IT. It's easy to marry whatever career path you choose, you know, um, it's easy to marry it with your prior experience. So, and I am answering questions on a case by case scenario. So, what I am answering for Pedro right now is not general. So for Pedro specifically, okay, there is a specific way Pedro is going to sell himself to a potential recruiter. Okay, and being somebody in IT and systems administrations, it's quite going to be, a sweet spot for you. All right, Obasi, fantastic. Congratulations on securing a spot. Ensure to send me a DM if you secure the spot tonight. Okay, if you had secured your spot already earlier, maybe in one of our previous sessions, then you don't need to send me a DM. So you're already speaking with someone. But if this is, if you secured your spot tonight, you may want to send me a text so I can walk you through on what next. Who else has a question? Can you give us a template for Upwork proposal? All you need is to fill out the attendance form, Chinyere. Fill the attendance form, you get the recording. Every single thing I did, you get it in your mailbox. Okay, that's better than the template, just the template. So you can go over everything again, and you see how I came up with the template proposal. All right, fantastic. So You've not filled the form, ensure to fill it now. Shakira, please can you post the attendance form again? Okay, Miracle Obi, I have secured my slot. So Miracle, did you just secure your slot or tonight? If you just secure your slot tonight, please do well to send me a DM. Okay, Miracle, I can see your DM. I'll respond to you. I'll respond to you immediately after the program ends. Okay, somebody says I am a lawyer and have a master's in cybersecurity with both GRC and penetration testing skills. How do we get a job? Most likely in Upwork. So search for cybersecurity analyst on Upwork. All right, search for cybersecurity analyst on Upwork and use the same strategy that I've discussed. All right, because of time, some of the other intricate strategies on Upwork, I didn't discuss them because I didn't want to keep you here all day. So one thing I would also advise you is to look into some of our programs so that you can get yourself the premium package. So now, for cybersecurity analyst, while cybersecurity analyst is high in demand, okay, the three criterion for you to consider when choosing a career path, cybersecurity analyst really doesn't meet that criterion. Now, as a cybersecurity analyst, recruiters may now, I want you to listen to me very carefully. And like I said, my response is to the person that asked the question, not to everybody. There is a reason I'm saying so. Fantastic. Now, for the person who asked the question, mm, Shelia, okay, you have a certification for cybersecurity. Most recruiters will look at that and then they say, okay, since you have a certification, I think you can jump on the job, right? But that's specific to cybersecurity analyst. And cybersecurity, depending on the aspect you want to go into, is not as easy as it sounds. Okay, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's easy to dwell on practicals and not get yourself hands on. So if that's the kind of experience you have learning cybersecurity analyst, then you may want to reconsider. Okay, um, career paths like data science, okay, is a career path that you can jump on first, get a job in there, and then from there you can scale up to becoming a cybersecurity analyst because some of the tools overlap, like Python, SQL, uh, Python SQL, what else? Yeah, majorly those two tools. Okay, as a cybersecurity analyst and as a data scientist, it's pretty much the same. Set of tools majorly. I hope that answers your question, Shelia. So, Shelia, are you one of the people who have sent me a DM already? And one of the 10 people who have sent me a DM. If you are, congratulations. If you aren't, I'd love to know why you haven't secured your slot yet. Do you have any reservations? Please share your reservations. I'll be super glad to address them. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, it does. Okay, fantastic. So this is 9:33. Initially, I said I'll shut the session down 9:30, but I think Shelley has a question. Really hits the sweet spot. So, uh, any other questions before we shut the session down? Any other questions before we shut the session down? Any other questions? Any other questions, guys, before we shut the session down? Any other questions before we shut this? Any other sessions? Any other questions before we shut the session down? Okay. It seems we have no other questions. So, guys, if you are still here, um, you are here. You're still here for a reason. Okay, and that's because kind of value we offer here at Naviant Analytics is not something you get out there. So you want to look inwards. Okay, so that money you use to buy shawarma every week, okay, or that money you've budgeted down for flexing through the month, it's this kind of things you want to, use them for. Invest in yourself, give yourself the opportunity to earn a lot more, and earning a lot more gives you a lot of financial freedom, to do all the things that you've ever wanted to do. All right, so this is the point where we will shut the session down. Um, I hope you got my contact. If you intend to reach out to me, or you can simply just go to the Naviant Analytics community that you joined. Look for any of the admins there and send a direct DM to the admin. You get the help that you watch. So Elizabeth is asking, can you bring the price down? I would have loved to bring the price down. Okay, I would have loved to bring the price down, Elizabeth. All right, but um, tell me what we offer. Okay, tell me what we offer, whether you can find it elsewhere, and if you find it elsewhere, all right, come back and tell me what they are charging you for it. Okay, you hardly find any other training program close to what we are offering. Okay, some people tell us, oh, other training programs are cheaper than your own. Okay, and I asked them a very simple question: why haven't you registered with those ones yet? Okay, why didn't you go on to register with those ones? Why are you still considering us? Okay, and they go on to talk about our, lifetime offers, the interview preps, and some of the other things that we discussed in today's session. And it speaks for itself. So on the long run, okay, if you register with us, you'll be saving more money because you won't need to register with another training brand ever again. But guess what? Someone else is charging you, let's say, like 200,000 or 150 or 180. And so that's a lot cheaper, not 250. You're looking for a cheap place to invest in yourself. Guess what? By the time you're done with that kind of training program, you start looking for another place to register again. Okay, so what would you then call the first one you paid for? All right, so I'll leave that to you. So it's don't look at the price, Elizabeth. You look at the value. Okay, so and if you deem it fit, don't think twice. Go ahead, go for it, and benefit from from all our offerings. Okay, so I hope that drives the point home, Elizabeth. How do you see it? How do you see that? How do you see what I've just said? Fantastic. All right. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you in class, Elizabeth. Okay. All the details are in the chat box. Do well to do the needful. Reach out to me and let's take it up from there. Okay. Let's take it up from there. So it is what it is. All right. So many people, I'll still say CBEX because um, I'll say CBEX because a lot of people were warned about it. Okay. But people did not heed. I know if I ask now, I'm not asking, okay, but I know if I ask, there's likely some set of people here today with us on this call who actually, gambled with CBEX. All right. And that's not the kind of investment you ever want to get yourself into. Okay. Have heard of some people who they went sold out on their business and put everything in CBEX and they are crying today. Some of them are in the hospital. Okay, so you don't want to do something like that. Okay, you don't want to do something like that. You want to invest in yourself. It may come with a little bit of sacrifice, but guess what? Big rewards come with a little bit of sacrifice, your time, your resources, your due diligence, and we are with you all the way up. Okay, we are with you all the way up from when you're starting out to you becoming a fully fledged professional. Okay, so this is where we will be shutting it down. So if you're going to be reaching out to me after now, you're likely going to pay the one-time payment. Okay. So this is a one last time call to those of you who have uh, you know um, um, made the first installment. Uh, Congratulations. For those of us still thinking about it, you don't want to sleep on it. Make a decision before you go to sleep. All right. If you sleep on it and you wake up tomorrow, it may be too late for this specific class. So this is where we'll be calling it a night. I hope you got value from your time. Glad you were here. I really appreciate those of you who stayed all the way to the end. I hope you got value for your time. I hope you got value for your time.